Today I want to share with you a story about how to start a hotel career with zero experience. Okay, let's dive in. How to start a hotel career with zero experience. When I first stepped into the grand lobby of the five-star hotel in downtown Toronto, I wasn't dressed in a suit. I didn't have a resume full of hospitality jobs. I didn't even know the difference between concierge and front desk. All I had was curiosity and the tiniest spark of ambition. I was 22, freshly graduated with a degree in something completely unrelated, psychology, and waiting tables at a cafe just around the corner from the hotel. Every afternoon during my break, I would walk past that hotel, watching polished professionals greet guests with a warm smile and a quiet confidence. I used to think, how do people get jobs in places like that? I'd love to work there, but I don't know where to start. And that's where the story begins, because today I do work in that hotel. In fact, I'm now the guest services supervisor, overseeing the same front desk I once stared at through the glass doors. Here is how I did it, and how you can start a hotel career with zero experience. Step 1. Start with curiosity, not credentials. Most people think you need a degree in hospitality or years of customer service experience to get your foot into the door. Not true. Hotels are looking for people with the right attitude, not just a shiny CV. Can you smile under pressure? Can you listen attentively? Can you stay calm when things go wrong? That's what I leaned into. I didn't lie in my resume. I was honest. I wrote about my cafe job, my volunteer work at local events, and my natural interest in people from different backgrounds. When I applied for a job at the hotel as a bell attendant, even though I barely knew what that was, I focused on my soft skills, communication, teamwork, and work ethic. Step 2. Visit the hotel and observe. Before I sent in my application, I went to the hotel lobby more than once, not as a stalker, but as a quiet observer. I sat in the cafe and watched how staff moved. I noticed their posture, their language, how they solved guest problems without making a scene. I picked up the language, terms like check-in procedure, upgrading a suite, late checkout. I also noticed something else. Hospitality is a team sport. No one works in isolation. From housekeeping to front office to maintenance, everyone plays a part in the guest experience. Step 3. Apply smart and be willing to start anywhere. When I finally applied, I didn't aim straight for the front desk or management. I knew I had to start somewhere. The bell team position came up, and I applied even though I was unsure about pushing luggage around. That job, humble as it was, changed everything. I met every department, helped during conferences, stepped in during busy check-in hours, and got to know long-staying guests. I learned how the hotel operated from the ground up. Within 6 months, I knew more about the hotel than some senior staff. Step 4. Go the extra step, always. Want to stand out in hospitality? Be the person who does the thing nobody expects. I once noticed a guest struggling to carry several shopping bags up the elevator. I offered to help, even though it wasn't my shift. She turned out to be the wife of one of the hotel's biggest clients. The next day, my manager received a thank you letter addressed to me. Moments like that don't require experience. They require initiative. I started offering help to guests before they asked. I kept a mental note of returning guests' preferences. I asked senior colleagues questions after my shift. I even started reading about hotel operations online, just to learn the language of the industry. Step 5. Make allies in every department. One of the best things I did was befriend people in other departments. Housekeeping, engineering, banquets. Each one taught me something different. I volunteered to help set up conference rooms. I shadowed the concierge during events. I even helped IT set up printers during a crisis. Soon, I became known not just as the guy from Bell Services, but as someone dependable. When a front desk agent went on leave, guess who got the chance to cross-train? Me. Step 6. Learn while you earn. Once I got more involved in guest services, I realized I need some formal knowledge. So I started taking a free online course in hotel management in the evenings. Not because I had to, but because I wanted to speak the same language as the managers. When they talked about RevPAR or occupancy rates, I wanted to understand. It helped. Within a year, I had picked up enough knowledge and experience to move into the guest services agent role officially. Step 7. Ask for feedback and use it. Every 3 months, I asked my supervisor, how can I improve? They were surprised at first, but impressed. They gave me tips on handling complaints, logging guest preferences, and writing better reports. I implemented everything they suggested, and I got better, fast. Step 8. Stay humble, stay hungry. Even now, as a supervisor, I remind myself daily, I started with no experience. What I had was intentionally. I showed up ready to learn, ready to serve. I still carry bags when needed. I still talk to housekeeping. I still thank the night audit team. Because in a hotel, titles matter less than teamwork. Final thoughts. You don't need experience. You need a start. So, if you are reading this thinking, but I don't have experience, good. That means you have space to grow. Start where you are. Find an entry-level role. Learn the language of the industry. Treat every shift like a chance to grow. Smile more than you complain. And above all, remember, hotels are in the business of people. If you are good with people, you are already halfway there. This industry rewards energy, not just resumes. So show up with heart, and the rest will follow.